everyone, today I have a new video category series for you guys. This is going to be called Bookworm, and it's just book reviews for a select few books that I want to review for you guys. I have been an avid book reader since I was a little girl, and there's a lot of books that I really love and I love to share. So I'm gonna start this video series, and I hope you guys like it. You guys can help me pick what books that you would like for me to read and review. I'm gonna have a few selections on my blog, and you guys can tell me which one is your top pick, or you can just put it down in the comments of this video so that I can check them out. I'm actually going to review two because I have started a book club with my friends, and we have started reading two different books. They're both kind of mystery books, and I really like them, so I wanted to share both of them with you guys. The first one is called Gone Girl, and it's by Gillian Flynn. It looks like this, and it's kind of a deceiving book cover. When I first saw it, I had heard a lot about it. When I first saw it at the store, I was like, this doesn't even look cool, because I'm a book judger by its cover person. But yeah, I decided to go ahead and get it, and this is a really good book. Like, this one is probably better than the next one that I'm going to review, but they're both kind of like women scorned against their husbands, and how like women get revenge kind of. Well, this one is more. So anyway, this book is about a girl who goes missing like the morning of her anniversary, and I don't want to reveal too much information for if you haven't read this book, so that I won't ruin it for you. It is about like this super perfect girl, or this girl, I'll put it down, this girl who wants to be like an alpha woman, or whatever you say, like a really perfect woman, and she aims to be the best, in 3 parts, which I really liked. It's in part 1, which I will give you the titles: Boy Loses Girl, and this one is just basically like how she goes missing and all of the clues. So you get the detective side and the husband side, and you're able to read some of the some of the journal entries or diary entries that the girl has. Like, you're able to see in her diary, and you get to see from her perspective, because at the beginning you don't hear anything from her at all. So let me tell you a little bit about the first part. The first part goes into him losing her, and the detective, you get to see the detective's side of the story, and the detective sees there's 2 detectives, and one of them, I'm trying to find part 2 as I'm talking. One of them is a woman detective, and she has like woman's intuition, so she's able to kind of read. So I'm gonna have to cut a few parts out because I'm revealing a lot more than I should. But anyway, part 1 is all about him and the detectives, and all the clues that that they have, or the evidence that they have to find out how she's missing, where did she go, if someone abducted her, if she ran away. And it leads you to believe that someone abducted her by her own, like they went to their house and like took her and left a mess. And so at first you kind of want to blame the husband, because all of the evidence points to him in the first part, and you're just kind of like, yeah, that doesn't make sense, this or that or whatever. So yeah, you're kind of led to believe that it's the husband, and then he does some pretty naughty things that you're just like, well, yeah. So it's really hard to do a book review without like revealing the book. So yeah, and when I did the book when we were talking about this in our book club, we were giving our what we thought happened, and I didn't believe that it was the husband before I had got into it. But before I knew like the ending, we gave our predictions, and I didn't think that it was a husband up in the beginning, because it just made it seem like really, if it was him, it was really obviously him. And if someone's gonna like abduct someone else or kill someone, which is what you're led to believe in the beginning, they're not gonna be that obvious that all the clues are gonna like point to him. So I was kind of like, well, it doesn't make sense that it's him. Like it was just a little bit too like obvious or whatever. Okay, and then you go to the second part, which is part 2, and it's called Boy Meets Girl. And when you start reading it, it gives you her perspective. So then you're allowed to see her perspective on the day of, and really interesting happens. It completely takes a twist, like unbelievably, and you're just like, what? That happened? Like when? What happened? And you really have to go back and like look in the first part, because I was like, wait a minute, let me go check, because you could see like it tells you like day of or whatever. So the book kind of reveals itself a little bit, because it tells you like part 3, and without telling you what happens, part 3 is about boy gets girl back or vice versa. And yeah, this is the most interesting part, and it's funny because it's the shortest part of the book, but it's where everything is revealed and everything it comes out to light, and you're just like, at the end, I want you guys to read it, because I want to hear your thoughts on it, on the ending, on the last part. I want to hear what you guys think about it, because it is crazy what really ends up happening, and the depths that people will go. I'll put it that way. This is a must read if you haven't already read it, and if you have read it, leave me a comment below with like telling me what your thoughts are, because I really am interested to hear other women's points of view. And yeah, because even in our book club, we got a little loud with each other, because we were just like, what, you think that? Like, yeah, it's really good. So that's a good book. And these book reviews are kind of gonna, I feel like I should like have a disclaimer that says like, I don't know, because I kind of want to like talk about it with you guys. Maybe I'll have to do a different type of book review, because I want to talk about it with you guys. And that's going to be hard. If you guys haven't read it, I'll give it away. I'm going to have to rethink this. So if you guys want me to talk about it, if you guys have read this and you want like to talk about it, let me know so that I can upload a new video, because I kind of want to tell you like my perspective on it too. Okay, so the next book that we read in our book club, and that I read, and it ended up only being me and my sister-in-law who read it. It is this book by James Patterson. It's called Guilty Wives, and I chose both of these books for our book club. So I wanted to go with another mystery, just because mysteries kind of seem like they make more sense for a book club. And this one was such a good mystery because we had so many questions, and in the end, when all of our questions were answered, we did a lot of predictions. So then we remembered what we predicted, and we were like, oh, but you thought it was going to be this or whatever. So I wanted to go with another mystery, and this one I have never read a James Patterson book before, and when I told my sister-in-law, she said that he's a really good writer, and it's like he's a #1 best-selling author. So I decided to go with it. So this book, it has parts too. Let me find the parts, I think. Yeah, it has like different books. So the first book is called Book 1. Well, it just says Book 1, 13 months earlier. So this happened before. And then this one is called 9 months later, March 2011. Book 3, which is just April 2011. That's it. So I kind of like that they were separated by books, because it's easy when you have a book club to just say read till like the first part or whatever. And this book was a lot different and a lot the same as well. It is about wives, and this one is about several wives. You have to read the prologue first. So that's what I read. at first. Discover that she is going to be in like in jail, and like it says, it starts off saying it's a rancid dungeon. So you're just like, what happened? Like, how did she get there? So you're just kind of thrown into jail with her at the very beginning, and she goes into like horrific detail about the prisons that she's in, or the dungeon as she calls it, and you just feel really bad. But then you go to the first part, book 1, and then you go to chapter 1, and it starts off lavishly. Well, that part starts off lavishly. It's about 4 friends who are like glorious looking, and they have tons of money. Well, one of them does, and she just like shares with all her friends, and they go to they're in Europe, and they go to Paris, or not Paris, where do they go to? Monte Carlo. They're just like having spas and flirting and going dancing and spending money, shopping and gambling and getting drunk, and like it's just this amazing night that these 4 girls have, and you're just kind of like, wow, like who lives like that? Like I couldn't relate to the first part. I was just like, this is way too unrelatable for me. Like, how did someone go from one like glorious night with her best friends to like a rancid dungeon? And it's crazy in here how they get there and what happens when they get in there. So without revealing too much about this book, I'm just gonna have to say that it's a book about how women have this sort of strength to them that you never knew you had until you were put in a type of position that you had to bring it out. And even like it's kind of like the ending or whatever, that the lesson learned from this book is that if you are right about something and you have a conviction about it, not to cave. That's what like what I got out from this, is that if you feel you are right, like don't give in to the pressure, and just maintain your truth. And yeah, so that's kind of what I got from this one. And this one, what I learned from this one is do not mess. No, I'm just kidding. This one, the lesson behind this one was just that no one is perfect. I think that's what I got from it. Like, once you let go of the idea of perfection, you'll start to be able to live happily. So that's what I learned from this one. And I think they're both really good books. They're both about like women and wives, more specifically, and wives and husbands, and the dynamic between the two, and how things can go really wrong for both or either if like they're not on the same page. So I think it's a good read for any wife out there, but it's a really good read for anyone out there. They're both really good. They're mysteries. They're completely like, this one is a tearjerker. Like, there's a point where I was just like I had to hold it together, because I read this on a road trip with my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law and my husband. We were on the same car, and I had to like, there was parts where I was just like, oh my God, please don't talk to me right now. I need a moment to just like get it together. And this one I didn't. I read like on my own time. Yeah, if you need something to cuddle up to this wintry season, I know a lot more, or books get a lot more popular, or if you want to buy it for someone, I think they're both really good gifts as well. So I really recommend either of these books by a fire, or by a cozy blanket with your cup of coffee or tea or hot chocolate. And yeah, and make sure that you I read it with 2 of my friends, and I loved hearing their perspective on things, because we have completely different ideas and perspectives, and just backgrounds, I guess. So it made it really a lot more interesting. Yeah, I hope that you like these types of videos. It's just a lot of me talking, and if that's annoying, just turn it off. Guys, for watching, and make sure to leave me any comments of any books that you think are interesting, you think that I would like. Make sure to get these books out, and when you read it, let me know what you think because I really want to know. So I'll talk to you all very soon. Bye.